What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike, and today we're talking top fives, and we have overpowered players in the Premier League. I wanted to make sure that we defined the league that we're talking about because there's just too many overpowered options. I was going through Foothead and FUTWiz and even my recollection of players I've used. I'm talking long video. If you appreciate the content, make sure to drop a thumbs up, and I will have a lot more uploads coming out on YouTube. I've just been live streaming a lot more than normal, whether you've been on Twitch or you've been on Facebook. In the comments, let me know who's in your top five. Did I miss some people? Do you disagree? Do you think, oh, that list? Yes, premium quality, right on point. That's the one. I'm gonna share this. Let me define the word overpowered because every time I make one of these videos, some people are lost. Overpowered means players that are cheap and they're lower rated and they perform much better than their rating. They're weekend league approved, and for measurement's sake, you will not see a player in my countdown that is above an 82 rating. That is my cutoff. That is my ceiling for overpowered. Once they get to an 83, 84, 85, 86, even if they perform fantastic, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're one of the higher rated players in that league. If you need cheap codes or cheap games, head on over to g2a.com. The links are down below in the description. Use Dirty at checkout. Honorable mentions. They just missed the countdown. We're going to go quick fire. These guys are still ready to be used in the weekend league. Depends what your budget looks like, but they're not going to be players that hinder you. They're not going to limit your success. Serge Aurier, I'd almost put him as the cheap Valencia. Relatively similar when they're on the pitch. Moose is still in my honorable mentions. I would recommend using him as a super sub as opposed to being a starter before a 76 overall. Mendy, who you might not see used that often at this point in the title. However, at the beginning of the year, absolutely. When you needed some of those cheap go-to options for fullbacks in the Premier League. Another defender we need to discuss is Ruettiger, and I could still use him right now in a weekend league and be confident, be comfortable. I know that he can carry the back line. He's consistent. He's reliable. Thank you. Last of the honorable mentions, we have Sonaldo, and he's already had a few informs. We haven't quite got that purple version of Son from last year, but we're on the right path, and his normal or his standard card is still definitely up there, and it's a competitive card. He's been special for Tottenham, and he deserves the recognition that he's receiving. Number 5 might be a surprise. We're going with a goalkeeper. Begovic, he should be in the countdown, in my opinion. And I could almost make a separate video just discussing goalkeepers, but in the Premier League, Begovic is up there, and he's not going to cost you much. He's going to outperform Butland every day of the week. Butland didn't really bounce back from FIFA 17. I will say this, you do have goalkeeper options in the Prem, and so much around goalkeepers is preference. Number 3, Martial. You knew he'd be in the countdown. How can he not? He's just so athletic. He gives you a little bit of everything, whether you have him on the wing, you have him up top. I wouldn't necessarily recommend him as a cam or a center mid, but I've seen people do crazier things. Highly recommended. Number 2, we have an underwhelming player in real life with Backe Yoko. However, one of the most disgusting, overpowered players we've seen in a FIFA installment. He actually reminds me of Conte from last year. You know when you play somebody and they have Backe Yoko, the chase back game is gonna be something serious. Number 1, Gabriel. Mr. Jesus coming through with the goods. And I'm taking his lower rated card. I know he's had an upgrade. This man doesn't just put on the clinic. I think he's the doctor. He's going to be able to do everything. People still use him in the weekend league right now as their main striker or a pairing between their two strikers. He's just got it. That's my countdown. Let me know in the comments, what is your list looking like? And just to reiterate, I will have a lot more content coming out on YouTube. I've just been streaming more lately, like I said, and it's taking up so much of my time, and I haven't necessarily been able to turn around some of that stream content, or it didn't look good enough for YouTube, in my opinion. But I have a lot more coming for you ASAP.